Hi and welcome to today's session on foam rolling. Now before we begin, just make sure that you are okay to exercise. If you've never used the foam roller before, we are going to be working on the back. So it's going to feel a little fragile, it's going to feel a little delicate, and it may be uncomfortable, especially if it's your first time. So I'd always recommend have a thick piece of clothing on to make the feeling slightly softer. If your foam roller is very firm, it's going to feel uncomfortable. So keep your repetitions low, keep your movements low as well, keep them small numbers, and just roll for a few seconds at a time. Rest when you need to and only come back when you are ready. The more you use the roller, the more you get used to it and the more the body adapts to the movements and the more we can roll out that tension and that stress that we're holding in our body. So for today, we are focusing on the back. We're going to focus on the top of the back because when we foam roll, we don't want to target the lower area. We want to just focus on the top. The lower area is too sensitive and you don't want to put too much pressure on the lower part of your spine. So we're going to focus around the shoulders, the top of your back, through the side muscles here, your latissimus dorsi. And we're just going to take each section bit by bit, break things down. Repetitions, I'll give you your ranges, whether it's a few seconds or whether it's 20 seconds or so, rolling up and down. Just making sure that when you roll, obviously if you have a full length 5 meter roller, that one will obviously cover a greater surface area and be a little bit more easier to balance. The smaller rollers, you can still work with them, slightly harder though, and I would always recommend use a smooth roller rather than one that's got lumps, because that will make it even more strenuous and therefore not as effective because you're going to be rolling for smaller periods of time. So always start off with a nice smooth one to begin with. So whether you want to use a mat, it's entirely up to you, not necessarily important, just make sure that the surface that you're working with is going to be easy for that roller to glide up and down. So, as you lay your roller horizontally across your body and position that roller just around the armpit area, bring your feet to the floor nice and flat and bring your arms there to support you. And from here, we are going to just slowly raise ourselves off, so we're putting pressure on the top of the back. Now, your head position may feel uncomfortable. Bringing the head forward, bringing the chin down towards the chest, will lengthen the neck and make it slightly easier. If it's too much, if we find it too tough, then you're just going to go the alternative and just let the head drop. So you're looking up to the ceiling. So with your head position, just work with whatever's comfortable for yourself. So arms down, feet pressed, and then we're going to lift. Now you might need to adjust your feet slightly because we want to roll, and if we're going to roll, we will need to change. So bring your feet slightly forward, and then again with your head position, and then we're just going to roll, just rolling the top of that back. Now we don't want to roll above the very top of the spine. And if you start to feel a shake, if you start to feel a shudder, then rest and don't go as high. You might want to roll a little bit lower. So don't roll on the neck and just target around, probably I would say just go to no higher than the very tops of the shoulders. And when you're rolling down, just roll down towards that armpit area, just level with your chest. And again, don't go any further, just target that sort of section around the top. So from there, we can relax, we can rest, and then we're just going to target around the sides. So from here, as you lay yourself down, you're going to open up the right arm, take it nice and wide. We're going to just change the angle of the body. So from going straight, we're going to bring our legs round, we're going to open up that right arm, and then we're going to change the angle of the roller. We're going to bring the angle so it's going to go diagonally across the body. So from there we can roll down the outside, down the sides, and we're targeting, again, working that armpit to the chest. And again, you might just want to do a few seconds. So it's your first time, you want to stop by now if you haven't done so already. And then we're ready to relax, release, and then we're going to change and do the other side. So angle it, and then angle that roller, and then over to this left side, open up the left arm, and again target from that chest to the armpit. Now if you start to get pins and needles in your arms, again just rest, come up when you're ready. First time, now is a good time to stop. If you feel that you can carry on, just do a few more. And if you want to, you can go back to the right side, go back to the center, and repeat. And then from there we're going to rest. So from there, let's repeat. Let's go back onto the center so that roller goes horizontally across the body. And again, adjust those feet, bring the feet slightly forward there. So the heels are just underneath your knees. And again, whatever's comfortable for your head, let it drop, bring it forward. If you want to, open up the arms, go a little bit wider. Relax, bring the arms down if you wish. And then once again, we target placing that roller at an angle. So we're going across the body. Open up the right arm. And then target from armpit level to chest level. And you'll feel that working down the sides, your latissimus dorsi. And then we're ready to change. Roll over onto that left. Again, really important to get the roller covering those areas. The roller's at an angle to go across the body. And again, just make sure you open up the arm so you can make sure you get every part of that side area of your back. And then we release from there. So you can come off of it, you can rest, you can go back to it later on into the day. You can go back to it. It's worth doing a little bit every day and you'll feel an instant release from your back. Whilst you're doing it, it's a little uncomfortable, can be a little bit painful. The more you do it, the more the body adapts and it starts to feel less stressful. But you should feel an immediate release from that back. Feel a little bit more mobile, feel like you've got a greater range of motion. Thanks for joining me for today's foam rolling session for your back. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. I will see you on the next video. Until then, stay in good health.